Good morning, guys. Yesterday was Friday. I had off. So yesterday I just kind of messed around with buttoning up a few things. I'll show you that in here. But what I wanted to show you real quick was, so you remember that bracket I took off for the hood, the one in the center? Took it out of the way so I could cut it out. Well, I've had it been sitting in here for, I don't know, I think 2 weeks since I took it off. I just dripped it in here. This was the second use of this stuff. So that really rusted out bracket is now like brand new. So I'm gonna run this over the wire wheel real quick, and I'll show you how it looks. And that's that solution that I made at 1/4 strength. So give me a second, and I'll be right back with cleaning this up. Okay, guys. So I just ran it real quick over it. Look at that. So I'm going to say, if you can, obviously, you know, if I went in there with like the drill bit wire wheel one, it'd come out real nice. It would come out just like that. So I'm going to say that this solution, even though it was at 1/4 of a strength, if you don't mind letting the part sit for a little bit, it'll be just dandy for what we need to do. But I basically had to clean this up, take this out, because I want to use the workbench here for what I'm hoping will be a successful day. So anyway, yeah, not so bad. So let me get a couple bolts out of here, and then I'll bring you over there. Actually, I'll do that right now. Let's bring you over here and show you what I did. So here's the infamous engine hump. So I've got my rib nuts in here, there, all the way around there, and back here. So it's bolted down there. And then I coated all the weld seams with the panel bond. So this piece, it comes in and out no problem. And then I cleaned up the backside underneath of any kind of like bits and bobs that was kind of sticking out. I'm leaving it in here for now because what I want to do is hopefully today maybe get the seat somewhat mounted up to slide back and forth. And then over here, what I did was I made my upper mounts for the radiator up here to here. So this part, this upper mount stays with the truck to a point. These are all rib nut 1/4-20s. They're there and there. And then the lower mount, which used to come all the way up to here, I just trimmed that down. So now it's just bolted here and there. And then obviously the radiator hose, and that's sturdy. So that's kind of what I did yesterday. I just made a couple brackets in the top, got that all bolted down, and then I coated it with the panel bond stuff, and then I trimmed down those pieces there. So let me get rid of this off from here, and then you can see I broke out that because we're going to be working on the seat. So let me finish cleaning up the solution, and then we'll be back. Okay, guys. So I was gonna try to get start steering the steering stuff, but unfortunately none of the stuff is here for me to start on that. So I figure maybe I'll just start on the seat, meaning I went ahead and got the slider bracket here, and it just, there's no instructions in it, but it's pretty easy. You just kind of slide that in, and you put that like that, and then there's like a little bushing plastic bushing thing that goes on the end of that, and then there's a cotter pin that goes in the hole. So I really have no idea how I'm going to do this, like making a riser for it, because that's kind of why I really wanted the seat, the steering stuff here, to try to get placement for it. But If I know that the back of the seat has to kind of be even with the door frame in its full back position. So that would mean that if I pick it and go forward, I can get closer to everything. Sorry. So anyway, so I still have the wrapper on this, obviously, because I don't want to mess it up too much here. But it looks like I'm going to have to take some of it off here in order to get the slider mounted. So once I get the slider mounted on the back here, we can probably proceed with that. It should, yeah, it'll match up. Okay, so let me finish putting together the slider with the bushings here. Like I said, I'm just kind of guesstimating here. Let me move you down. Okay, here we go. So that should go like that, I think. Yeah, okay. So like that. And then that should clip into this. Maybe. Okay. There we go. You're probably not supposed to do this until after it's all together. Like that. Like that. So this should go forward or up. Yeah, okay. Yep, like that. Okay. So what it has to do is they have a series of bolt holes in the front, 1 and 2, and then in the back they have 1, 2, 3. So you just have to figure out which configuration this slider, because this fits multiple years, and this seat is for multiple years. So I found that one, second one in, and then the second one. First one doesn't match. So, and then it's kind of tough because it's sitting here, but when you push this, which would be up when you get in, these slide no problem. So right now they're in the full back position, I think. But anyway, now I will tell you this, the quality isn't like 100%. This one's locked in pretty good. There we go. Yeah, but this side right here is kind of loose. The reviews overall were pretty good. Some people were saying that the bearings fall out after a while. You know, after a year or two of use. For some reason I think this side right here is going to be the problem generally. But so the whole point of the slider is, one, to move it forward and back. Sorry, I had to move the camera. So the whole premise of this is to be able to move it back and forth. And then the second thing is that it gives me studs out to build something off from that, right? So, but I still have to figure out how I'm going to attach this to that and get my rise. Because what I had before was 1.5 inch square tubing. I do have 2-inch square tubing, kind of bring it up a little higher. Yeah, that's kind of where I think I'm going to be at. So let me just kind of poke around here. I have some heavy duty, like 3/16 walled square tubing. It's just real heavy. That's the only thing, but it is a seat. So let me poke around here and see what we got. But we got the track on there, and then I have no idea what size these are. Up here I have a feeling they're metric, so let me see what size these are, so make sure I have the appropriate nuts. Okay guys, if you don't have these are definitely worth their weight in gold. It's these little guys right here. They're thread checkers is what they are. I have one on the wall, but I do have one that are separate pieces. So you just take it and you just put it on there and you find the one that fits. That's the one that fits. So this is an M8 by 1.25, which of course I don't have an M8 by 1.25. I think I have M8s by 1. If these are actually M8 by 1.25s, I'll be very shocked. Oh, I do have them. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I got a bunch of these because of the Volkswagen. Yep, little lock washers. Oh boy, that is pretty awesome. Let me make sure that they're all the same, because you know, you never know. Because that's how some parts sometimes you get. So again, guys, I'm just kind of shooting from the hip today with this. The parts for the steering will be here tomorrow, but it'll probably be more towards the afternoon, evening-ish. I probably should have recorded everything that I did yesterday, but it was really just drilling holes and putting 1/4-20 rib nuts in. I mean, how exciting is that, right? So, okay. So now that I got that, let me just kind of poke around on my metal supply here, because I do have pieces of stainless square tubing that I'll never use. Yeah, anyway, so let me poke around here and see what we got. Okay guys, so I looked around, and the thing is I have to have enough material for both seats, even though I only have one here. So kind of looked around and I found this piece right here. So this is 2.5. So it's a 2.5. It will be a 2.5-inch riser. Now this piece of metal came off from an old Smith machine, you know, workout equipment that we had laying out back that we never ended up using, and the cables broke. So I just kind of stripped it down of all the metal. And this is one of those pieces. So it's thin wall, but it's super heavy duty. This machine could hold like 500-600 pounds. So I'm going to be cutting 17-inch length off, and then another 17-inch length off, and then we'll take it from there. Once we get it over there, I got to mark the bolt holes, And this right now is just really like trial and error. So I'm just seeing if this will work, my idea in my head. The problem is the seat risers, instead of being straight across, they come in, right? So instead of being like that, they go like that. So I don't have a good flat square mounting place right here, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna have to kind of work around that because I wasn't gonna cut out the seat risers. But anyway, so let me cut this piece off and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I had to go this way because if I went this way and followed the runner, the slider, it would hit the actual release unleash mechanism. So as of right now, I got a travel of like, I don't know, I'd have to figure it out once I get it in there, but now I have a travel back and forth, right? Okay, so let's see how this looks. There. Okay, so obviously I can get to the bolts from the side here to put them in, but what I will be doing is I will be making just like a little cover that'll probably like probably an probably a quarter 20 riv nut put in here, so I can just make like a little plate to cover this ugliness up, and then it'll just screw in or bolt in right there. So whenever I need to take this off, I can just undo the cover like that. So this is the side facing the center of the truck, and this is a little bit more tucked in for the side of the driver's side door. So again, I'll make a little cover right there. Should be good. So that's simple little riser. That was the easy part. Now we have to go take it over to the truck and see how we're going to actually attach it to the truck. Let's throw it over there in the truck and see how it actually does look in the truck, right? So I'm going to set you up kind of over here for now as I set the seat in, and then we will see how it goes. So these little guys right here, these are little bumpers that were from the old seat that I did not have. I guess it's set over here. The only thing I do have is the rear seats in the back, but you know, the back cushions. But anyway, so let me get this seat in. That was kind of afraid of. So I got to kind of guesstimate how the seat goes, and then I'm going to have to put bracing from the back to the front, you know, like that and like that, in order for the seat to actually sit above the riser. Yep. And then that presents its own little challenges right here. But if I can get this seat somewhat, if I move it back this way, I won't be able to slide it out. So yeah, okay, let's see what we got. You can see right there, it just barely makes the span. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do here is get me out of the way. I'm gonna have to do like a band here and then here, so that can actually bolt to. So it'll raise me up a little bit higher. Let me go look around and see what I got for metal. I'm hoping I got a piece of 1/4" plate, I think. Okay, so let me go check. All right, guys, so I made this out of angle iron. So it's like 2 inches or whatever. I'll give you the exact measurements. But so this is angle iron, so it won't bow. I did try to use a piece of 16 gauge, but that's just gonna bow. So that's not gonna be any bueno. So the issue now that you have to, you know, as you're building these things is, okay, so if I put this in, how easy or hard is it going to be to get the seat in and out, right? Because you never know, you know, right there's a body bolt right here, and then you have to still get the hump out, which how far this extends out, that's going to be tough. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying that that's gonna be tough. So this one right here, real easy, just kind of welds it in here on both sides and right here. But this guy over here, this is gonna be a little bit more tougher, because this piece will have to come off as well. This has to come off in order to get this piece out, I think. So this is where it's a lot of trial and error, right? So now I have to take this off while this is sitting here to know if I can get it on and off relatively easy. If it comes off with no problem, then we won't have a problem. But if it doesn't come off as easy as I had hoped, then we're going to have a problem. So I think the best bet, though, once I get these figured out, is I'm going to actually weld bolts up through on the back side, so that way it'll have the studs coming out. I just set the seat down on, and I can just run the bolts down from the insides of the tubes, and then make a little skirt, so to speak, kind of like this right here, down and then out, so it'll cover this up, cover that up right here, and then, like I said, right here in the center is where the shifter's going, just like that. So when you put it right, so I guess what we'll do is we will attempt to get this out and see if this will come out with this with no problem. Because not only do I have to get one on this side, I also have to put one on that side, because the other seat. So let me get a Phillips head and get all these bolts out and see if this comes out with this in place. And that's no. So that one right there has to be made to come in and out in order to get the engine hump off. Yep, that's why we check. All right, so I already got an idea on that one. I think I'm just gonna bolt it down. You know, 2 bolts on both sides into that lip, and then that'll be plenty strong. I mean, that's what held the old seat in, right? So let me do that real quick. Let's drill some holes in some 1/4 inch plate. Yay! Here we go. So let's hop up in here. That's not so bad. Oh yeah. My steering wheel would be right here. Yep. So it would be gas and brake. Pretty nice to be able to sit in the truck and see, but that's perfect riser. That worked out really well. I think the only thing is I need to move the seat over. I mean, here I got plenty of room. Here I got plenty of room, but I mean, to get me back in the middle here, I think we need to go over that way. So right there, and I'm right here. We'll probably have to go over that way 2 more inches. Yep, 2 more inches that way. And then we'll have it. Yes, 2 more inches. Ooh. So that's going to put me pretty close. Okay. So right there, we're bolted in pretty good, or we're locked in. So that's where it's going to go. So let me just mark some things, and then I'm going to drill some holes, and then we'll be right back. I mean, I could show you marked holes and stuff, but really that's kind of the meat and potatoes of mounting this seat. Coming in and out, making sure everything works as it should. And a good thing I did, because that hump would have never came out if I would have welded in this support brace. All right, we'll be back. I got to charge up my phone anyway. It's almost dead. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So I just finished up these pieces. So that's the angle that I'm using. And then, like I said, I welded the nuts in the back. So this is the one, or the bolt. So this is the one that will be bolted in and out. So let me put you over here and we'll see if this all fits. It should fit. So we'll set you there and right there. Let's go. All right, here we go. And this one is all welded in, so I'm welded here, over here, and there, and then full weld all the way around there. And the nuts are also welded in. Let's see if the seat works. Well, there it is. Oh, perfect. That's going to be perfect. I'll go with that. And I got about an inch of room behind here. I can see good. That worked out great. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up today. I do not have the other seat. I wanted to buy one to make sure that it would all work right with the riser, and it does. So the riser itself is from Rigid Top, and it was 99 bucks. And then the seat was 180. So yeah, but the shifter will go right there. It'll actually bolt right here, and then that'll be easy run to the transmission with the low car cable, and it'll probably come up and like that. So just like that. What would be really nice is if I made like some sort of armrest here. I'm an armrest kind of guy, but overall I think that's great. The foot is good. So now I can, well, I have all the steering stuff coming tomorrow, but it probably won't be till late in the day. I've got a steering column, which I'm probably going to have to cut down. It's a GM column with tilt. And then I have the master thingy right here. So that'll come like right there. But yeah, so we'll figure all that out. One thing at a time, right? So we will catch you in the AM, and we'll probably do something. I'm not sure what yet, but it'll be something awesome. See you tomorrow, guys. Good morning, guys. So it's Sunday morning, and we had that fantastic spring ahead time change last night. That just means, you know, when I get home, it's still daylight. So I was kind of watching the video that I did yesterday with the seat, and I want to apologize for the sniffles. It's a part of going from last week. So I was like, oh man, that's kind of annoying. So sorry about that. But anyway, so I'll try to be more mindful of it today. So today I think I'm going to button up this part right here. And then trim all these pieces down. So, you know, I've only got like an inch of curve in, or an inch in. So I have my template for, you know, for each side here. So I can make a roll, basically like a front roll pan is what I'm gonna do. I do have a bumper for it. It's off the GMC. When I did the deal with the Volkswagen, the gentleman wanted the Cadillac bumper. So I do have the bumper with the brackets, but I also have another Cadillac bumper. So, but that Cadillac bumper is small. It's like tiny Dagmars versus those big torpedo ones, right? But either way, I got to get this roll pan done right here just to kind of button up that front area, because when I put the grill shell in, it's got like little wings around it. Actually, let me show you. So it's got these little wing guys, and I had to split them so I could open them up, right, to fit around the radiator. So what I did was there's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 flathead screws holding these two grill sections in, so 4 per side. I hit this with a little PB blaster, and then I kind of drizzled some transmission fluid down in them, in the bolts, and I got a couple of them loose. So I'm just kind of soaking them to get these panels off so I can put this up in there, so I can build little filler panels to keep it open, because if not, that'll flap, right? So before I do that, I want to get this roll pan thing all situated, and then go from there. So I do believe I have enough of the 18 gauge to make this. So that's what I'm going to start doing. So hold on for a fun-filled day of making a roll pan. And yeah, here we go. All right, guys, so I moved the microphone down here for a second while I talk to you about this grinder hood. So I'm always like burning through these grinder hoods because, one, they're very uncomfortable and they get all kind of crappy. And then when you lay them down, the lenses always go across whatever you're working on. Like when you set it down, that's probably more my fault. But so I picked up one of these Benchmark abrasive grinder hoods. Now this isn't a paid sponsor or anything like that. I just was really impressed with their grinding discs. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get this hood for safety, and I can wear my glasses underneath, right? So that's like a big deal. So it adjusts really good. So and you can wear a respirator with this, which is really important on certain things that you're welding, just so all the crap doesn't come up into your face. So I'm gonna smooth all this out on this side, and then I'm gonna give the grinder hood, it's a full face. So it's a little bit of an adjustment here because I have to wear them low because of my glasses. But yeah, I'll go with that. I like it. And the cool thing is that the actual lens sits below. So if you set it down, it won't ever hit for that. So I like it very much. I just have to make sure that I'm a little bit more careful than most when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Okay. So back to the other side. No, there it is. So like I just welded a pipe on the inside and made it easier to bend. But all this will get trimmed down, you know, to about an inch just enough to bolt it all together. So let's move it over there and see how it fits. All right, guys, so I did get the grills out with a lot of heat. And then a flathead screwdriver, and then it has that cool little thing up there, and then just use that for the torque. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of set it up in here. So I got to move these down. There we go. So let me lower this down, set the grill in there, and then see what I got to do for here. So as you can see, like right here, it rubs up against it. And then the same over on that side. So I got to kind of make sure that this is all how it needs to be. Right? Yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna do is so it's basically like a natural funnel, if you will. You know how this all kind of comes in. The only thing is just that this is a little taller by about 3 inches from the top of the radiator to here. But that's okay because the air will get directed like that and then over the motor, because there was a question about the heat on the motor. So I'm going to answer that one. So as the air comes funneling in with the fan behind it, it's kind of like a shroud, right? And then the air will come through here and then down on top of the motor, and then circular, since the engine hump is like a big bulb, it'll just follow it out and then out the back. That's my idea anyway. So what I have to do is I got to clean up the metal here. I want to open this up just a little bit here and here. This side seems to I don't know, I got about the same gap on both sides, so that's okay. As long as it's a positive clip there. So what I want to do is I want to put like a piece right here, bring this out just a smidgen so it can come in and out real easy. So to do that, I'm going to put in a piece of cardboard. So all the cardboard is doing is just, it's going to give me my clearance. Like that. You can get it on both sides. And it'll be like that. And then this I'm going to trim. So once I get this in place, I'll be trimming this. Just like that. And then that can go like that. Perfect. So let me get in some pieces in there. All right, guys, so there it is. So now we have no wobble wobble going back, forth, up, and bottom. And then I trim that so it wouldn't kiss the bottom of the radiator. So as you can see, it just goes right in. All right, guys, so I've got this piece all set up. I made that piece, but we got quite a gap from here to here. So I went and I got some 1/8 inch round bar. So I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make like a little ledge guy from here to here. So hold on and let's see if I can get this done. So I've never done anything like this before, so I mean, I see people do it, so why not give it a whirl? Okay. Well, there's my wire frame. So this is 1/8 inch rod. After I got this put in, I was like, oh man, it sticks way out. That's not going to look good. And honestly, I'm not really sure if I'm going to put a front bumper on this or not, because it's so smooth through here. So I think with this in place, now it's just basically connecting all this together. I may put another rod here and here, maybe. But I mean, I have plenty of it. This rod was like $5 for 4 feet of it. I got 4 pieces. So, and I just ran down to Ace to get this because it's real close. So I guess I'm going to put, yeah, I think I'm going to do one more here and here. Yeah, I think so. Just like that. Just to kind of break it up a little bit. I think that'll be good. Let me do that real quick. Alrighty, guys. So I got the other side put on, same way as I put the first side on. And I like that way more better. That wire buck did a great job to keep me formed in here. So right here in my seam in the center, because I did 2 pieces. So in the seam in the center, I wanted to put in a plate so it kind of matches the center here. And that's what's right here. And then I put it down and then that way. So I just have to kind of fill it up right here on the sides with a little bit of 18 gauge, just so it kind of smooths out better with it. But I think that'll be good for, I don't know, license plate or whatever. I just like how this goes with this to this. So the only thing I got left to do on this, I'm pretty much done for the day, is just flatten off the top of that. You know, I'll probably use a piece of 16 gauge in there. I have a feeling that I'm not going to be running a front bumper. I saw some pictures of the Ford without front bumpers, and it just looks so good, like right through there. So yeah, so we got the seat in. I still have to make the trim piece off that. I got the grills out. Managed to weld in pieces on each side to open up basically a tunnel for the air to get sucked in right through there. Explained how the air is going to come through here, go down and out the back from the front, and filler. That's a good weekend right there. And then of course, you know, I did a bunch of miscellaneous stuff on Friday, which was got the engine hump all attached in and completely removable. And I built the 2 upper mounts for the radiator, shortened the lower ones. So now it's just 2 short ones on the bottom, 2 short ones on the top. Showed you that the hose does fit. We are all set with that. So, like I said, I did order a bunch of steering stuff, universal joints, W joints, the steering rod, and the steering column. Maybe next weekend I'll get to that. I'm not sure because that's going to be a lot of just sitting here scratching my head to get all those angles all right. But as far as this weekend, I'm done. So you know what, guys? I appreciate you coming in here and taking a peek at what I got going on. I killed my battery twice, so that's always a good weekend right there. And hey, go out and build something cool. Even if you've never done it before, like I've never done a wire buck before, just go for it. It's metal. You can't mess it up. If it's not right, just cut it off and start again. Easy enough. Thanks again, guys, for coming out and taking a peek. We'll catch you next weekend. Bye.